Hello guys, what's up? Welcome back to probably the most requested video I have ever gotten requests, suggestions, DMs to make. It is finally here. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, make sure you go follow me. It's at Kayla.michaud. I posted something on my story not even 24 hours ago telling you guys to basically ask me any Penn State questions because I wanted to start making this whole little Penn State freshman survival guide series of videos. So if you're not following me, go follow me because I'm going to do another one of these probably like in the summer or other Penn State related Q&As. I also posted on my YouTube community page, which I don't know how that like goes to people, but I know people ask me questions there. Just to give you guys a little bit of a background on me, welcome. If you're not subscribed, subscribe down below. I'm going to be a junior this fall, which makes me actually want to throw up because that's wrong. I am a human development and family studies major on the developmental science track. I'm in the College of Health and Human Development, but I've also taken a large chunk of my classes in the College of Education, so I'm kind of an expert on that too, so I can answer questions about that. I thought I would get maybe like 10 responses. I would show you guys, but a lot of people like told me to keep it anonymous, so I'll put it really far away. Like an insane amount of questions. I've also gotten even more DMs, and then I posted on my YouTube community page asking for questions, and I have 54 questions on there too. I guess we're just gonna kind of get into the video. If there's anything that I miss, comment it down below, and if you're a Penn State student, feel free to also comment down below and answer everyone else's questions. That would be really helpful. Okay, what dorms are the best? If you're an incoming freshman, definitely East. You're allowed to choose two preferences, so I would choose East renovated as your first preference, and then a second, honestly, I would do East unrenovated. I know another popular choice is Pollock because Pollock has a good location. Pollock is a whole nother experience, very similar to the East life. I think East is better, so. Are all of the dorms the same format and are they nice? This is a great question. So the basic like areas of campus, each area has like their own dorm, dining hall, but the areas are North, South, East, West, and Pollock. For freshman year, odds are you'll probably be in East. In East, you have East unrenovated and East renovated. Are college classes really hard compared to high school? This is a great question, and someone else asked if it's hard if you've already taken honors and AP classes. It's interesting because I've done way better in college than I ever did in high school. It's just like a whole different type of class. It definitely requires more time outside of the classroom, homework, studying, office hours. That stuff definitely is more time consuming and you have to put in more effort, that's for sure. There are definitely less tests, exams, that kind of stuff, and more real world applications, which helps. That's not like you're gonna have a huge test every single week like high school. Is it hard to focus on schoolwork at such a big school? No, I would say that for the most part, Penn State students are actually very motivated with their schoolwork. I feel like we kind of have the mentality of work hard, play hard. So many questions about class sizes, how to deal with big lecture halls. I honestly don't really mind them. Definitely mixed opinions from people, but I will say that a lot of your gen eds will probably be in larger size classes. It's definitely an experience, and Thomas 100, which houses like 600 students can be intimidating. I promise all of our classes will not be like that. You may have one class in there, but it's honestly an experience to do that. They can definitely be like different. You're in an auditorium style seat and the desk like flips over. I have had nothing but amazing experiences in my big lecture classes. This also leads into, can you even get involved with teachers if the class is so big? One of my professors, Dr. List, she taught ed psych. She knew all of our names, and if I were to see her on campus right now, she would say like, "Hi Kayla," no joke. Teachers do try to put in the effort, but it's also like you have to put in the effort. Go to their office hours, introduce yourselves. The teachers want to get to know you, and they don't want you to just be another student in their class. Like they want to, you know, like they feed off of your energy. Best class you've ever taken. Okay, everyone needs to take HGFS 129 with Molly Countermine. I got literally 1,000,001 questions about what the party life is like, what are parties like, do you have to go to parties to meet friends, how do you find out about parties? In terms of like the life and the culture of it, there are basically like 3 worlds of it. The first one is obviously what comes to everyone's mind, frat parties. I can't even like I don't even remember what I thought frat parties would be like when I was in high school, but obviously it was probably what you would see in movies, and that's what everyone thought it would be. We'll get into that later. The second one is the whole like bar culture. There are so many bars in State College, but I will tell you, they are 21 and older bars. Do not try to go in there with a fake ID. And the other kind of era of the party life is just like apartment parties and things with your friends like that. Someone asked, how do you find out about parties? The thing is that you know, you see the Snapchat stories, the photos, the movies, and 90% of the time it is not like that at all. Especially freshman year. Guaranteed you'll probably just be walking around for the entire night trying to find something, and it just doesn't, you know, it's mostly just walking around, and you know, it's not the kind of thing where like you can just walk up to a frat house door and they're just like, come on in, come to this crazy wild party. I will give you guys a little bit of an insight to how that whole thing works. Fraternities are allowed to host so many socials. They're allowed so many per semester, and they have to register them through Penn State, you know, the whole like Panhellenic blah blah blah, and they have like security there to make sure that nothing bad is happening. It's a specific guest list. They'll usually have a social with a sorority. When I was in a sorority, I was given a wristband to go into said party. It was, you come in at this time, you enter through this door, and it is a set time. It was like a 2-hour, maybe an hour time frame. There are people there to regulate it, like again, the security that Penn State hires. That happens so many times a semester, so if you're just a normal person walking up, they can't let you in because you are not a registered guest if it is a registered event. But also if they're having an unregistered event, which is 99% of the time, they have to be careful who they let in their house because it is their house. They are responsible for what happens inside of their house. You have to know someone in the house, or be personally invited. What are some essentials for clothing items? Example, tailgates, going out, class, etc. For class, people dress extremely comfortable. I would say that when you come for like, you know, August, September, October, people wear like big oversized t-shirts, shorts, Penn State apparel everywhere you go. Sweatshirts, joggers, very comfy. You can wear your slippers to class. You will not get judged. For going out, I would say that you would need like 3 types of outfits. You would need like the day parties, tailgates, what am I saying? Like anything happening during the day, at night. For going out, I don't have any good outfit examples because I'm at home and all my clothes are locked in my dorm that I cannot access until like June. So I'm gonna insert a few outfit ideas on the screen for going out at night outfits. 3 pieces of advice for freshmen. Do not wear one of those little backpacks when you go out. I would say go on Amazon, look up black booties. Okay, I'm editing this now and I low-key feel kind of bad. I didn't want this to like come off as mean. I know people just want like advice and like recommendations genuinely of like what to actually wear out. I wish someone would have told me, because some of my outfit choices 2 years ago, 18-year-old me going to parties just was not. Obviously wear whatever makes you feel confident, you know, makes you feel good about yourself. I looked like I was going to a 15-year-old birthday party in some of the outfits that I was wearing. For tailgates, Penn State is definitely the school where we wear all Penn State to games. This is actually a great, I'm like a walking example. This is like a cropped, like super cropped windbreaker. I would say like wear something like this, maybe like unzipped with like a really cute like cropped Penn State shirt, white joggers with like some blue. I'll insert some pictures if I can find anything, but when you get in, how do you know your roommate? Oh, I had a few questions about like the whole roommate situation and how I chose my roommate, how I suggest choosing a roommate. If you are wondering about when you find out about your roommate, but also your like dorm, you'll find out, I want to say, in the beginning to middle of June. So I have had 3 roommates in my college experience. One at my old school, one for the summer semester, and then one this year. I chose my roommate 1 out of 3 of those times and went random for the other 2 out of 3. Do I recommend you choose your roommate? Yes. It is a hard process sometimes, but basically just make a post on the Facebook thing about yourself. Everyone will kind of say the same things, but try to make it like as specific to you as possible. When you're choosing your roommate, you want to be honest with them and like have those hard conversations so you know if they're going to be a good fit for you. Also for roommates, people have questions about like conflicts and stuff like that. Plot twist, it's not like the movies. Every roommate that you have is not going to be your best friend, and that is okay. And sometimes you just need someone that you're civil and can live with. It really depends for each person. But yeah, I did go random with 2 out of 3 of my roommates. And from my experiences in the dorms, I will say you should choose your roommate. You want to have an open conversation with your roommate as soon as you decide to live with them, or even if you go random when you get there. It's easier to get that stuff out of the way before conflicts rise and stuff like that. I think I was fortunate to never have any like actual conflicts with the roommate. Some people had verbal arguments and how to get people involved to calm them down and like all that kind of crazy stuff. The thing about when you get to choose your roommate, you kind of like know what you're signing up for before you kind of get there. If we're being really honest with you guys, like I said I would be honest in this video, I had a roommate that slept walk and slept talk. There is someone out there that would have been like, that's okay, like I'm a deep sleeper, we could still room together. That's kind of situation where like you want to know what you're getting into ahead of time, because you know, not that it was like a bad situation at all. I was a little bit like uncomfy because I was a light sleeper. Again, another person wouldn't have cared at all. Like, it's not their fault, it's not my fault, but you just want to know what you're getting into before you get there. But anyways, let's just I had actually a few questions about triple dorms. Penn State doesn't have triple dorms, but they have supplemental rooms. Those rooms are like typically 4 people. I've heard of even 6. What are things you want in the dorm that you wouldn't think of at first? A fan to drown out the noise of everything happening around you. A lot of questions about just like the whole sorority process, how expensive they are, things like that. So I did make a video about my whole rush process. I was in a sorority at Penn State. I was in Alpha Phi, and I rushed the spring of my sophomore year, which is, you know, Penn State does formal rush in the spring. It's like a 14-day process. I was in it and I decided to no longer continue in it. Prices, I would say if you're a new member, your first semester, you're looking at spending $800 to $1,000 for your first semester. Some sororities dues drop down to $400. I think mine were gonna be like $700, $600 after, but I would still recommend people to rush, honestly. You'll meet so many people even if it doesn't work out for you. Rules. Sorority rules, hazing, things like that. So many questions about that too. Like after I talked about dropping, I think people got a little bit like suspicious and worried. On God, okay? It was not because I was hazed. I promise you that. I can't speak on other people's experiences. You hear all these crazy rumors, but me personally, I was not. You hear stories of like the whole washing machine and the circling on the bot. You will hear every single story. Do not let those stories deter you away from any sororities, because odds are it is not true. There will be a large sober period where you can't go to parties and things like that. It's not like your first night in, you're at wild parties. It's usually a long thing, and then someone breaks the sober period, so then you're on probation for the whole semester, and then you can't go out at all. I don't really think the extreme hazing thing is true for any of the sororities. I really hope it's not. Follow their rules, and sometimes they'll be like, recite the Greek alphabet, or go around and tell an embarrassing story. There were like social contracts that we had to sign, also like a social media contract. You obviously can't post things that are inappropriate, which honestly is just not only like protecting their reputation but yours. I don't see a problem in that. Like when they're like, don't post things with alcohol if you're under 21. Obviously, this Penn State have sorority houses. There's one sorority house, by SIG has a sorority house, and they took over an old frat house that got kicked off campus. If you're not in Greek life, do you feel separated from other people? This is a great question. No, you don't really feel separated. Greek life is big at Penn State, but it's not huge. You're not going to be judged for being in it or for not being in it. How do you get football tickets? I have gotten probably 20 questions of how to get football tickets, which is so interesting because I forgot that like that's something that you just don't know about. So basically you'll get an email, probably, fingers crossed, if they hold football, May and June. Around that time, you'll get an email from Penn State Athletics. It'll basically tell you what your semester standing is. Like for me, it'll say your semester standing is 5, which is junior. Basically what year you are credit-wise in school is what day that you will register. Say it's August 10th, right? It'll say that ticket sales start at 7 a.m. You may think, okay, I'm just gonna kind of log on at like, I don't know, whenever I wake up, like 2 and get my tickets. No. What you want to do before the day you register, go on, make a Ticketmaster account. That's where everything is through. Have your address, your credit card information, everything saved into Ticketmaster. You do not want to have to input any piece of information when you're buying tickets. Have it all saved in Ticketmaster. You can unsave your credit card after, but make sure it's in your account ready to go. On the morning of football tickets, say they go on sale at 7, you want to be logged onto your computer at like 6 a.m. I think I logged on at 5:45 last year. You are basically placed into a virtual queue waiting room type of situation where you're in a line and it'll tell you this really intimidating number of how many thousand freshmen are ahead of you in line. It is scary. They will be gone in probably 12 minutes. You can try to do it on multiple computers, but I'm gonna say do not do that. I tried that and my Ticketmaster account got very, very confused. I believe it was like $280. I also got questions of what happens if you don't get a football ticket. You'll see that all of your GroupMes and the Facebook page for your class will turn into a ticket dealing trade. You're probably looking at paying $40 for a ticket for like a normal game. Obviously for specific special games, it may be like 60 or 70. Is it easy to get involved and make friends? Yes, 100%. There are probably 1,000,001 clubs at Penn State. Definitely go to the involvement fair, sign up for things, go to clubs. And if you're involved in stuff, it'll make it way more easier to make friends. It'll also get you out of your dorm more, which who knows where you'll meet friends. You can meet them at the hub, at football games. Just get out, get involved, say yes to more things, and you'll definitely meet people when you least expect it. Is it easy to make friends, or do you have to really put yourself out there? So many people's concern. You will find your people. It's hard because it's gonna take time. The first people you meet aren't necessarily going to be your best friends all 4 years of college. I think I just finally like found my friend group. Here we are, second semester, sophomore year. It takes time. So many questions about what Thon is, how you get involved in the Thon committee. In September, you'll be able to apply to get involved in a Thon committee. I'm not like the complete expert on this because I wasn't in a Thon committee, but what I've heard from people is that you have to apply, and then they find the best fit for you. Like if you're gonna do R&R, dancer relations, PR, like they'll find where you fit best. If anyone is a thon expert, please comment down below an explanation of it, because it is so hard to explain. Does it ever get boring? This is honestly like such a great question, and someone else DM'd me about this last week, and they were like, you're in the dead center of Pennsylvania, like how is it not boring? Like yes, we're not close to a big city, but it's not like Penn State is like this little college with a bunch of trees surrounding it. It's this ginormous school. You have a huge college town. I read yesterday that we're number 6 in the country for college towns. The college town is like its own little city. It's run by students, for students. There are a lot of high-rise apartment buildings downtown, countless restaurants, bars. There's so much downtown. It's definitely not like going to a school in Boston or New York City where you have the whole city around you to explore, but downtown State College is its own little city, and I personally don't get bored because of it. Yes, we're in the dead center of Pennsylvania, but there is literally everything to do in State College. Best food spots. Oh my god, food, oh my god, so many amazing options downtown, but also on campus. The market that stays open until like 1 a.m. It is literally like a grocery store. It blows away every person. Downtown, I would say my favorite food places are BRGR, The Best Burgers, Snap Pizza. So many questions also, how hard is it to get in / stats? I applied into the College of Education. You apply as a pre-major. I wasn't this insane wild student. I didn't take a million honors, a million APs. I was a very, very B+, A- average student. For my exact GPA, I don't even know what it was, to be honest. It wasn't anything special. I think I ended high school with a 3.4 something, 3.5. SAT scores, I never did like those special SAT classes, kind of just went off and it was like whatever happens, happens. I definitely got between like an mid 1100s to like 1200 max. I just really focused my application on my activities, my essays, really made myself stand out for that because I wasn't like this insane student. Meal plan, what meal plan do you recommend? There are 3 tiers of the meal plan. I would recommend doing 2. You can add and subtract up until the week before finals. It's basically like a debit card system, but when you go into a dining hall, you just kind of swipe in and it's like a fixed rate. But it's also that debit card system because you can go into the hub and get like Starbucks, Burger King, Panda Express, Chick-fil-A, all of those like more retail restaurants in the hub, so that's kind of why they have it as that debit card fixed rate. But if you go into the buffet, you swipe in, it's all you can eat. Is the Wi-Fi good enough for online gaming? Good question. Yes, you will have to register all of your devices for like Xbox, Switch, Amazon Echo through a special Wi-Fi thing, which they'll teach you at NSO. But the Wi-Fi on campus, honestly, I think is great. I have Wi-Fi when I walk around campus, and it's a big campus. A lot of people are just saying like they're Penn State 2024, they hope to see me run campus. If you see me run campus, please say hi. Workout classes at Penn State in the gym. The IM is incredible. Every single workout class you can imagine. The facility is incredible. Really cool like fields inside of there. So many basketball courts, a mini rock climbing wall, and then this also huge like 20 feet tall rock climbing wall. It's actually probably like 30 feet. While I'm thinking of it, transportation, I had other people ask about parking permits. You can't have a parking permit until you have so many credits, I believe sophomore standing credits. But if you have some medical excuse, like you have to go to physical therapy, you have to go to the pharmacy, things like that, they will let you buy a parking pass as a freshman. I had a couple of friends that had to do that to go to PT. Commute to class and the bus system. I would say that the commute to class definitely varies on where you live. I think that it's completely false where people say your walk from East will be like 30-40 minutes. That is so false. My walks were like 15 minutes at most. You'll find your little shortcuts and things like that. Google Maps may be like, it's a 25-minute walk. You can literally make it like a 12 walk. Don't rely on the bus system for class. The buses can honestly take longer. I would say just take the bus if you're going like a far distance, like if you're going downtown from east. Okay, this girl said, hi, I'm doing summer sesh and it's probably going to be online. Do you have any advice for that? Oof, that's sad. I am the biggest advocate for summer session, and specifically LEAP. Do summer session if you can. If it's gonna be online, that's so sad, and I feel so bad because summer session was like, what just happened to my voice? Summer session was literally like the best summer of my life. Still try to do classes that you'll be able to actually use towards your major. That's so sad. I don't know. Hopefully you still get like a LEAP mentor if it's summer online. Another question about summer session, how does it work? And what about LEAP in classes and stuff for summer session? LEAP, I talked about it in a recent video, but it's basically like you're in a little niche of other students, 25 students. You take 2 classes with them, you have a LEAP mentor, you have so many activities planned. It's basically like a specific niche of what you're interested in, and the people in your LEAP group will become some of your best friends. You take class every day. The classes are probably like 80 or 90 minutes, but your mentor will have so many things planned for you guys. How safe is it being on campus? I have never felt unsafe being on campus. Someone else asked how hard is it to get in. It's a public university, so there's no like big gates. When I went to Quinnipiac, there was like a security gate you had to go past to get inside. I think it was because it was a private school. You have to have intention to drive to Penn State. It's not like I'm gonna casually drive through Penn State. Like it is, you know, and you can't necessarily drive through every road of campus. It's very secluded and set back. Downtown is also very, very busy. It's not like a sketchy downtown at all, but you can also use safe walk features where a police officer undercover or like a student undercover will walk with you to get to and from your dorm if it's really late, or they'll even walk on the other side of the street to make sure you just get home safely. No questions asked. Is there orientation a week? How does NSO work? NSO is usually just like an overnight program, and that's where you will schedule your classes. You'll meet with an advisor. Usually I met with my own advisor. But yeah, you stay in Pollock. Don't ask me why they put you in Pollock for one night. I don't know. I just stayed at the hotel with my mom. I just like didn't go back to the room. When should I plan to arrive on campus? Oh, so they'll give you a specific move-in day. Their move-in process is very, very strategic. You have to go to the BJC to go check in, get your key. You'll follow a specific parking route, driving route situation to get to your dorm building, and you'll sign out the cart for however many minutes. It's very organized, but they'll give you dates, times, everything. I would definitely recommend doing it really early in the morning. Like if they start moving at 10, be there at 10. Guys, I started filming this at 12:30 and it is 2:30. I also did take a break to have mac and cheese. I hope I answered as many questions as I could. If I missed something, please leave a comment down below. And if you are a Penn State student, feel free to answer everyone else's comments and help them out. And if there's other things in the video that you want me to elaborate on, of course comment them down below. Or like if you're an expert on Thon and you're a student, please comment what Thon is to help people out. I know this was probably so long, but I really hope that you guys enjoyed it, because this is like my most requested video of all time, and I will be making more videos like this. I could do a specific video all about dorm life. I could do a specific video about what you should have in your dorm versus what you shouldn't. Maybe a video about like how to choose classes, what I wish I would have known, mistakes freshman year, just like anything. I'll literally make any video. Again, follow me on Instagram at Kayla.Michaud, subscribe down below. I will see you guys next time.